So everybody, we have Lilly Emendy, say that right, with us
Yeah,
today. She works at Out of the Garden as the what do you call your position? Like lead
I'm the farm manager.
farm manager. Okay,
Yeah.
good. And I've been volunteering out there some, and it's been
Mhm.
awesome experience. And just been getting to know Lilly and some other people working there. And so I just wanted to have this time to kind of learn a little bit more about what she does and share with you guys kind of the whole Out of the Garden project and kind of Lily's history and everything. You just kind of start out like, what's your history? Where did you come from?
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Yeah. The basics. So I was born in Indiana, spent about a year there, and then for the rest of my childhood, grew up in Greensboro. I knew this place through like the sports teams I was on and Grimsley High School, the Whirlies. And I went to NC State for nothing to do with agriculture. I got a degree in science, technology, and society with a concentration in environmental ethics, an outdoor leadership minor,
Wow.
and that took me into leading youth and backpacking trips and whitewater rafting trips and a lot of youth leadership while living in the woods. And we'd partner with national parks, and that took me up to New Hampshire and Alaska, and all of that was kind of rolling into this very informal education career, which I loved and enjoyed, and I think really understood the importance and the great importance of connecting and reconnecting kids to the land. I came back to Greensboro 6-7 years ago, started working for the Children's Museum here and the Edible Schoolyard because I was really fascinated by that whole concept of food education. And I love food. I've always loved eating, and I like cooking. And when you start growing food, you realize you have this abundance in front of you, and you're like, well, I better figure out what to do with it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And so the food education piece came into it. And then about 5 years into that, I had this itch for production farming. And maybe it was some part of being at NC State, like planted a seed in my mind.
Right.
Lo and behold, Facebook got me, I was tagged in
Really?
this job description for the
Yeah.
urban teaching farm. And I was like, what's that? I'm not looking for a job, but I'm just curious.
Yeah.
And here we are. So the urban teaching farm is a 1 acre, hopefully a little bit more next year, production farm that is in the Warnersville neighborhood. The neighborhood has this like traumatizing and beautiful and really rich history in that it was founded in 1867, 2 years after Civil War ends, first intentional African American community here in this area. 30 acres originally. It was bought by Yardley Warner, hence Warnersville.
Okay.
And they parceled it up and sold it to recently freed enslaved people. And for the next 100 years, there was like business growth and lawyers and dentists pop up and schools and churches and community centers and like really strong community. Ash Street was the downtown street. Like it was all connected to downtown Greensboro. 1960s urban renewal comes in, and this is the point of the beginning of the story, is that when they came in, they rerouted the neighborhood. Not only did they knock down all the buildings, but rerouted the neighborhoods, Freeman Mill, Gate City Boulevard. It's actually the first time I drove to the property to see it when I was like part of the interview. I had to take like 6 turns to get into the neighborhood. Our goal with the urban teaching farm is to develop a model that can be replicable in other food desert areas around Greensboro and other neighborhoods that have history and have assets and have charisma and are just lacking like the platform to stand on, the resource to connect to. And if we can come in, I mean, Out of the Garden Project is all about feeding kids and their families. If a kid's hungry, the family's hungry too. And it's a systemic issue. It's not just about that one meal. So another way to address that hunger is to get excited about food through
Yeah.
farming.
The teaching aspect of it, what's your goal and who do you want to teach? Like, are you wanting to teach more of the people in the neighborhood, just anybody that wants to learn farming? What's your thoughts there?
Yes, both.
Okay.
So the goal, the long-term goal is to stick around. and then to do the teaching part. So step one in my mind is making sure that this project can be sustainable and it's not just a 2-year grant funded project that comes and goes. That's not what this neighborhood needs. It's not useful in the long run. It's a lot of work for not a lot of payoff, and we want to stick around. So my immediate focus is just making sure that we can grow enough food, we can find our markets, we can find our wholesale outlets, we can find enough CSA members, which that aspect has been great so far, to make enough money to cover our costs. We can exist year after year, and then we can start building some of the programming, the teaching programming into the model. Currently, we're doing a lot of teaching, though, through volunteer work. We have volunteers like you who come in. We have paid summer internships. We have high schoolers and college students who need to get hours for classes. We partner with A&T, and we work directly with a few of those professors at A&T to kind of like feed students into the farm from specific classes that kind of work. We have huge dreams for classes that we teach.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay.
Yeah,
so
it's
you just getting started. Yeah.
Yeah, we just broke ground in November, so it really is fresh. So proud of that we do, and I'm new to it, so I'm like, still feeling all excited. But
right, yeah.
I'm so proud of how we were able to move really quickly. We're a really small crew that all really believe in this work, and so when an opportunity pops up, we're able to jump on it. It's nice to see that in a nonprofit. That's not always how it works.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, that's been like, I kind of had this mission of like, all right, I'm going to find something this year, and wrote to a few nonprofits, and they were kind of like, took forever to get back, or weren't really interested in like volunteer work. I'm like, I want to help. Like, how can I help? And or you would show up at a volunteer place, and it was kind of like you were more in the way than really, like there just wasn't anybody to like give you directions. And that's what like really impressed me about your place, like the farm, is like I got there and you're like, okay, go do this. I need you to do that. Like, and everybody,
I need you to. It's good.
Yeah. I mean, everybody there, it's like they have a clear direction. They're all working, and it's like when you volunteer, that's really what you want. I mean, you don't want to feel like, you don't want to feel like you're in the way. And I mean, it is your time. Like you want to feel like you matter. So I mean, that's all, like across the board with Out of the Garden, it's felt that way. Even when we showed up at the truck,
that's so good.
We had like all of our, you've seen our family. We had all the kids there, and they gave everybody jobs, and I mean, it's super cool. I don't know how you guys pulled that off, but
yeah,
that's really impressive.
Well, we have some folks who've been around for a really long time, and I think just there are people working for us now who used our services and felt the value of that and wanted to give back. And there are folks who are working who have never experienced that need of the hunger in the way that the clients that we serve, but know how valuable it is. And it's just, it's empathy. It's about caring for other people, and having so many volunteers who have a really important thing, a job to do, whether it's repackaging food or planting lettuce transplants like we did today. It just feels so good if you can do that and have fun and build community and network. I mean, there are so many people who've made really good friends because they've volunteered with someone regularly long enough. They're like, okay, we should get to know each other.
If someone was going to get involved with Out of the Garden, like what are the steps? Where do you see the most need? I mean, is it at the farm, or just go online and kind of pick their spot?
Yeah, I would say two ways. The first is if you just want to get a taste of what Out of the Garden Project does, go to outofthegardenproject.org. There, all of our different projects are listed under our programs drop-down menu, and there are volunteer opportunities for all of those. We have a sign-up genius where you can schedule, see what time slots work for you. They are sometimes Saturdays, Sundays, every day of the week, all different times. So you can generally find something that works for your schedule. And if that's something you're interested in, I would recommend that. If you have a specialized skill, like you are passionate about data entry or cold calling restaurants, if you have something you're like, I think this could be valuable, give us a call.